After the battle against the Phantom Nine's machines, Echidna rambles on about how much she enjoyed fighting the giant robots. She decides to promote Leo, who is still disguised as the Black Onyx Knight. When Leo is summoned to the castle and comes to know of this, he concludes that it's time to reveal his true identity to Echidna. Before that, however, Leo comes across a book about a demon named Abrad, the Joiner of Hands. He soon recalls his encounter with Abrad. Many years back, in the year 2060, Abrad came to the human world as an immigrant looking for a better life, preaching coexistence. Unfortunately, not long after, the Demon King at that time arrived to unleash war on the human world. So, Leo was tasked to take the Demon King down. Leo remembers how Abrad told him he would live aimlessly for many years after the war, and advised him to live a fulfilling life when the humans no longer need him. But Leo didn't understand at the time. Leo's promotion meeting is delayed when Echidna is informed that the demon portal is closing in 7 days. The demons would be stuck in the human world once that happens. Echidna suggests that they disband and put an end to their plans so that they can return home without the Philosopher's Stone she came looking for in the human world. Leo finally comes clean about his identity to Echidna and also reveals that the Philosopher's Stone she seeks is an advanced engine from the mechanical age that produces unlimited energy and not a wish-granting device that can be used to make the demon world fertile again. He adds that there are 2 stones in the human world, and since Leo is now on their side, Echidna decides to trust him. Later, he leads him to the location of the second stone in the Snowy Mountains, but explains that it requires a user manual to operate. While searching for the stone, Echidna expresses her plan to join forces with the humans to find the 2 stones, so that they share them and live in peace. A while later, Leo secretly tells Echidna that he fears that he might intentionally orchestrate wars just to save humans because of how he was programmed. Leo suddenly drops a bombshell, revealing that the Philosopher's Stone is the power source of the Demonharts. He tells them that to obtain it, they would have to kill him, so he asks them to fight him for the stone, declaring that he's prepared to die. Leo gives him the option of ending him right then and obtaining the stone, or letting him continue to live and eventually start new wars until there's no one left to protect. Immediately, he goes on a rampage, brutally wounding the generals and urging them to kill him so he can be free from the burden of protecting the humans. Seeing as they have no choice, they retaliate and unleash deadly attacks on him. But this is the same guy who single-handedly defeated them before, so you can imagine how difficult it is for them to go against him a second time. Each one of them attacks with their strongest strikes, but he easily counters them. Left with no choice, Echidna uses a powerful spell she inherited from her father to render Leo powerful for a few moments. As the giant beam of the spell flies at Leo, he doesn't counter it. Instead, he accepts his fate and thanks Echidna. His life flashes before his, and he remembers how much he hated the idea of being the protector for thousands of years. Over the years, he had even attempted to create a new Demonhart series that would destroy the world, so he wouldn't have anyone to protect, and soon realized he had gone insane. He later realized that he needed a successor and someone that would kill him to take his stone. So when he came across Echidna and found out she had plans for peace, he concluded that she was the best person to receive the stone and would also be the one to free him. As Echidna casts a spell on him, she notices the happiness in Leo's eyes and realizes that this is what he wants, so she decides to give him the death worthy of a hero. Begrudgingly, she orders her 4 generals to kill him in his vulnerable state. With his body opened up as a result of the injuries, the stone where his heart is supposed to be is exposed for them to see. Leo lies there covered in blood, fatally wounded. He disables his internal security and tells him they have 300 seconds to collect the stone, or else it would die with him. Echidna asks him if he has any regrets, but he just thanks her and apologizes for causing trouble. An emotional scene is on display as Echidna reaches for the stone, but then suddenly, she changes her mind. Echidna gets up like she just had a revelation, and announces that Leo has passed his probation period and declares that she wants to hire him as their ambassador to the human world for peace. Initially, this is quite disappointing for Leo, so he begs her to just end him. Shutina interrupts him and asks him what his motive is. Leo replies that because he contemplated destroying humanity, he's evolved and could be a very dangerous threat to the world. However, Shitina makes him realize that since he's gone against his programming before, he can do it again. So, she urges him to try and break free from the controls binding him. He reluctantly gives it a shot and successfully deletes the orders that have plagued him for the last 3,000 years. With the remaining time, Leo seals the stone inside him forever and accepts Echidna's offer. She points out that he may have lost the only chance to die, but he doesn't mind and is just glad that his plague is gone. Leo thanks Echidna and confesses that he enjoys working for her, which leads to the both of them sharing a brief romantic moment that's interrupted by Julieta, who came to inform them of the mountain of work waiting for them. They all head home, and Leo gets to work, glad that he's finally quit heroing. 1 month after Echidna officially hires Leo, they all go on a trip to let loose. When they arrive at the inn, they're informed that the place is haunted, and they're given charms to ward away the ghosts. Leo finds the charts quite hilarious because they are animal ears and headbands. Echidna, on the other hand, takes the situation pretty seriously and insists that they all wear charms. Echidna goes shopping but doesn't return because she suddenly disappears. Murney suffers the same fate as he too vanishes when he goes searching for her. Back in the inn, Leo notices a portrait in the room that has moving eyes, which gets everyone scared. Edward decides to go looking for Echidna and Murney's who haven't returned. But his screams are heard and he also disappears. In the inn, an invisible spirit begins throwing objects around, and in the process, they find a mechanical age relic. It's a rotary telephone. Soon, Leo and Shitina realize that their magic isn't working, which causes her to panic. Echidna suddenly reappears and informs them of what happened. Not long after, Lily also disappears, so the rest embark on a mission to save them. After searching virtually every corner of the inn, they conclude that their friends are no longer in the building, so they decide to search outside. While searching, Leo complains that he has a headache, but Echidna waves it off, suggesting that his headband is too tight. They haven't even found any of their missing friends when tragedy strikes again. Shitina is suddenly pulled into the darkness and disappears, leaving only Leo and Echidna to think of a solution. As they continue searching, Leo realizes that Echidna has been possessed by a ghost. Desperate to save his friends, he chases the ghost into the forest, only to find out that it's just Murney's wearing a disguise. He explains the entire thing to Leo, and reveals that it was a prank staged by Echidna and the innkeeper. Later, they relax in the hot spring, and Echidna points out how the ghost prank has them closer as friends, and they all agree. Afterward, they set a fire at the beach to commemorate their newly cemented bond. Leo admits that he enjoyed the experience and is glad that he's traveling to new places for fun, and no longer from one battlefield to the next. He's thankful for his new friends and hopes to do something like this with them again soon. That brings us to the end of today's recap on I'm Quitting Heroing. I hope you enjoyed this recap as much as I did. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and kindly comment below if you would like to see the next part. Bye and thanks for watching. See you next time.